Good morning. I want to make this as short and simple as possible. If you've been following me all this time, you know my relationship with that stock DRYS. And if you've been looking at my posts on StockTwits, I did mention it on Thursday to keep a close eye on it. Maybe you didn't, maybe you did. More importantly, this is the greatest microcosm of the debate of what's been going on for the last, I don't know, decade since making YouTube videos. I could say something in a video, 8 months later, you can go back to that video and I could be right or I could be wrong. Then 3 years later, I could say something about that same stock and I could say if I like it or don't like it. And then 2 years later, you can go back to that video and I could be right, I could be wrong. So which is it? The most important thing if you're going to trade is this the idea of recent what's it called? Past experience or past performance has no reflection on the future, right? So if you're looking to get into this industry right now, right? Hang on a second. If you're looking to get into this right now, nothing I've done in the past matters. But if you want to harp on a few things, go back and see where my Dow 20,000 call came in 2009, when I said the market has been taken over by the market has been taken over by the government. We should go back to at least all-time highs, and then I will say that we will break out and see Dow 20,000 by between 2016 and 2017 originally, and then I said January 20th, 2017 at 1:43 p.m. You can't get more. It's tongue-in-cheek because I don't know if it's going to happen at that moment, but that was my target. And the reason I said it was because I thought we would rally for the entire Obama presidency right into the next president. Not knowing it was going to be Trump at the time, I said we'll probably rally right into the next president. And we'll hand it off and continue. Now, we've had flash crashes and blah, blah, blah and everything. More importantly, the QQQ call for 120 already happened. Because I said, how could the Dow Jones hit all-time highs without the QQQ going back to 120? All that being said, let's talk about dry ships. You guys know my relationship with the stock. At one point I was short back in the day. I got crushed. Then I made some money back on it. And then it became the laughing stock. It's the worst stock there has been other than UVXY and Dust. But dry ships is much worse because it's a real stock of a real company. And people keep thinking it's going to come back. And they would reverse split it and would go back down. And reverse split it and would go back down. But if you were in my trading room, and I explain how these short squeezes work and how the stock market is manipulated and how nothing ever makes sense. I told these guys before I left, this is the Black Swan event. I'm leaving. There's a 15-for-1 reverse split right after they did a 1-for-4 reverse split. There's not going to be that many shares left. It's ripe. It's ready to go. If it can get back over $4.50, $5, look for it to get to 10. If it goes to 10, I said this thing could go to 50. Because it's not real. It's really just a stock going from 1 penny to 8 cents. We've seen it before. So in theory, this stock could legitimately go from 4 to 250 right now because there's only 7 million, 8 million, 9 million shares out there. And if they want to screw around, they want to get involved, they want to do this, this is what they can do. Now, did I buy it at 4 and sell it just now at $50? Absolutely not. But the question is, if I recommended it and somebody did that trade, do I get credit for it? I don't know. Did I buy it yesterday? Or did I say, hey, if this thing breaks the previous highs, this is just a blast off momentum stock, buy it here at $17.50? Yes, I did. Did I get my print? No. Next thing you know, it's trading at a 2-point spread. Did I make the recommendation? So am I right or am I wrong that I told people to get in? Somebody got in. Some people made some money, but more importantly, let's forget about the dry ships. We had 8 trades yesterday. I did 4 of them, and 8 worked. Let's forget the dry ships because the dry ships is something that should make you realize that none of this is real. None of it. You have to just listen to the charts and do what the market's telling you to do. What's the market doing today? People think I do homework. I come in, I look for the same specific setup. Sometimes when the market's breaking out, you have to change gears and look for VWAP breakouts and different types of environments call for different types of trading. I've been looking for VWAP reversals for the last 4 years, and they're working. And they're working fantastic. And I like to show people how to do this. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to Vegas tomorrow. Just got back from Grand Cayman, going to Vegas, and then I'm doing a book signing on Monday. If you're going to be in Vegas, please look me up. We're going to be talking VWAP till your freaking ears start to bleed, and reversals, and how to manage yourself in this amazing, crazy industry that we try to navigate every day. So for all of these people out there that, I know there's only 3 guys left, and that's amazing. Amazing, if you think about it. I've had tons of people come through the website, whether they liked it or didn't like it, nobody complained. I've got people that have stuck with me for the last 7 years. I have got not one complaint against me since I was a broker from 1996, 1997. No one said anything bad against me. And even with all that, I still say, don't do anything with me unless you meet me, talk to me, and hang out with me for a month. Because if you can't give it a month for free on me, you're never going to succeed anyway. Whether it's just a financial advisor or learning how to trade if you want to sit in front of the computer. Because I'll tell you, getting a system in place where I'm going to be blasting out ideas, it's difficult. Because if you're not sitting by the computer, sometimes the idea is over before you even start typing it out. But I'm going to try. I love Bank of America, but I put stops on it. What happened? I got stopped out. Next thing you know, it has the biggest run in 3 years. And then, on the flip side of that, I don't get stopped out of the CLDX because I was like, fuck it. I'm going down with the ship on these last shares I got. Same thing with Alcoa. Same thing with Arconic. I was like, you know what? They're all going to zero. That was my attitude. I was like, what's the worst that could happen? I'll lose this amount of money. I'm hanging on to it. Obviously, I didn't think they were going to go to zero. But then the CLDX blasts off. Trump takes over. All the biotechs rock. Suddenly they got news. The stock's up 100%, people. None of this is ever going to make sense. None of it. So sometimes it's better to be lucky and good, lucky than good. But what I do is I make you create your own luck. Picking dry ships the other day wasn't just luck. There was a chart pattern that showed up that this is why you want to get involved in the worst stock in the world. Whether you believe it or not, and whether I did the trade or not, doesn't matter. The setup was there, and what I teach, you would have said, you know what, Kenny, this is fitting the criteria. Should we get in here? And again, at $18, $19, it still wasn't completely absurd. Buying it here at $51.50 might be a little bit crazy. Now, I personally, if you're in this stock, you might have to sacrifice these 8 or 9 points, meaning I wouldn't even sell this stock. Oh, and then again, if you're in from 10, 12, or 15 bucks, you probably should be selling some. Let's say you're down to that last 100 shares that you don't care about. Let it ride. Let it ride at this point. Sacrifice the 8 or 9 more points. I would not sell this dry ships unless it was to go negative. Meaning, if it gave up this entire gap and rolled over, have your stop at, let's say, I would put the stop at, say, 44.50 right now. So sacrifice 5 or 6 points. Because if it doesn't roll over and get hammered, it legitimately could go to $100 a share. Why not? That's what this market's all about. Ask yourself, why not? Don't get stupid when you're in a loss and say, oh, let's see what happens. If you're profitable, that's when you could say, why not? And let's see what happens. All right. Good luck. Hopefully I'll see you guys in Vegas. And everybody out there from Australia and Sri Lanka and the Netherlands and Denmark and the Bronx, I will get back to you as soon as possible. I have a buddy. I have one of my guys who I've helped make money. He's now working for me. And we're changing a lot of the ways that we do things, and we're actually getting in touch with people that want to get in touch with us. So again, it was only me running the whole thing. Now I got a couple of new guys, and they're helping out, and we're chugging along. I'll see you in cyberspace. I think you know where to find me. It's kennyglick@AOL.com.